Understand this. It's not true. You cannot be 12 and be a black belt. It's not true. And it's not about learning the techniques or knowing the katas, or that's not the point. The mats don't lie. I know who you are out of here because of who you are here.
Yeah.
Because one of the most important things as a man is to be a man of your word. Like, look at just the jiu-jitsu community right now. What's the difference between WWE and UFC? Percent. That was the media. 800%.
Right.
Overestimated their ability to fight.
You still get the argument that jiu-jitsu doesn't work. Yeah. What do you think? Welcome to another podcast for Be Great. This one I'm really fucking excited about. Get ready to hear some shit. You and I have a history. You're my jiu-jitsu coach and my judo coach. But for those who don't know you, who are you and what do you do?
Hello, people. I'm Martin Peyrou. Yes, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and that's why I can teach you jiu-jitsu. I have a long history of martial arts. I've been doing martial arts my whole life. It means 28 years. I've been doing martial arts my whole life, and I started at 80 years old, so I've been doing martial arts for over 40 years. I started with karate, like everybody did karate, and I have, so far I have 4 black belts in 4 different martial arts. Mm-hmm. And, so martial arts is a very big and important part of my life.
So we're going to break this podcast into 2 parts, yes. Right? Again, one of the reasons why I was so excited to have you on here was not only for the martial arts aspect, because you and I have had lengthy discussions about how we really view martial arts.
Yes.
But then what's really interesting about you is your past work in South America. So we're going to get into that.
Yes. Perfect. And, yeah,
so let's start with the martial art aspect of it. So you and I have discussed before how there's been a transition from the original aspect of martial arts, and it's been watered down to either be less effective or it's been going in the sport, especially in jiu-jitsu. We see that a lot where jiu-jitsu has been changed from the martial art aspect of it to very sport. What's your thoughts on that?
Yes, you can see it in jiu-jitsu what happened with karate in the 90s, 80s and 90s, right? And early 2000, or judo. What happened the same with judo. With taekwondo, am I right? For the Olympics, I think it was Seoul, 1988 or something like that. So it's that, and you see it in boxing. When you see Olympic boxing, right? And you see that you have to touch the other person. It's completely different from boxing, the Olympic boxing, right? Okay. So what happens is that I think that every time the Olympic Committee gets involved, martial arts get destroyed.
Okay. And why do you think that happens?
Well, because they make it a sport.
Okay.
Right? And in order to make it a sport, you have to make it safe or politically correct.
Sure.
Right? It cannot be that violent. Remember what happened at the last Olympics with the karate, right? This guy did an amazing entry. He timed it perfectly. Dama wash into the face. Boom! Knocked out. The other guy won.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that medal on my neck. Right? After that. So I think that every time you want to make a martial art a sport, that's not actually the problem. We talk about this. I think that we're lowering the bar too much so people can fit in. So people can climb over that bar, right? Mm-hmm. So back in the day when we started doing martial arts, the bar was up here, right? And you have to climb to get to the bar. And the question is, why would it be that hard? Well, but here's the thing. Many people, and this is one of the most important lessons in martial arts, is that many people want to be, for example, millionaire, but they don't want to become the person that you have to be, because that requires a lot of growth, a lot of work, a lot of personal growth, a lot of
fucking sacrifice.
It's hard. It's hard, yes. Right?
Yep.
So you don't want to. So in order to become a martial artist that can climb up to that level, to that bar,
Yes.
you have to grow a lot as a person. You have to become the person. You have to stop being yourself and become the person that can jump over that bar.
Yep. Agreed. Yep.
Right?
And I think we're too fucking soft now.
The more you lower the bar, the more people can jump over. But the point is that people don't become what they could have become.
Yes.
You know? So we're playing small and we're making everybody smaller and less of what they could be and achieve. Right? And then you have right now this epidemic of kids, 80-year-old kids with black belts.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And it's not true. Understand this. It's not true. You cannot be 12 and be a black belt. It's not true. And it's not about learning the techniques or knowing the katas, or that's not the point. The point is that it requires certain maturity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And responsibility. Because martial arts, the goal of martial arts is to create strong character.
I agree.
Right? Is the personal growth. That is the aim of martial arts. Is you to become that person that can climb over that bar. It's not learning how to fight. You go into a bar every single Saturday. At the end, you're going to learn how to fight. Okay? But it's not that. A martial art has a lot more, and that's a philosophy behind. Through hard work, if you want to look at it from that stoic point of view, through hard work, you're going to become a better person. So one of the exercises of stoicism, all right, is to push yourself physically and emotionally into hardship, right?
Yep.
Do something that is really hard this week for you physically.
Yep.
It could be squatting heavy. It could be running longer. It could be going into a sauna and staying 5 more minutes.
Dude, I
right?
fucking 100% agree with you.
So, and we know nowadays that actually our brain gets stronger. Our mind and our brain physically get stronger.
There is an actual circuit in your brain that becomes stronger when it's tested.
Exactly.
The more you are pushing yourself against increasing your resilience, you become stronger and it becomes easier to adapt your resilience. And accordingly, if you fucking keep sucking the bar and you keep, I don't want to do this today. You know what? You get weaker and it becomes easier to accept weakness. That's why I hate the concept of weakness. I think we should always be striving to overcome. Like there was a time, I think it was a couple of months ago, and I told you I don't like doing that technique. And you were saying, that's the technique you need to work on because you don't want to do that one. That's the one I want you to work on. And we are very prone as humans, and especially in today's sort of societal mindset, to give in to being fucking average or being weak. And I think that is just shit.
Yeah, absolutely. And the thing about that area of our brain that develops when we go through hardship, am I right? We do what's hard, is that it's in the frontal cortex, right? Which is the area of our brain that helps us deal with everyday life situations, which means frustration.
Yep.
Right? So we become more resilient to frustration. So emotionally become more mature, because that's what happens when a kid is growing up. This area of the brain is developing, and then you are able to control your emotions better, right? So when we go through those, that's what martial arts is doing. So here's a story, and I always tell this to my students, kids or no kids, it doesn't matter. Because we have a Western way to understand a strong character. And it's different from the Eastern Oriental way. There's this student trying to find this master that has a very strong character. And then he goes to the town where the master lives and he asks, where's the master? Whatever. Oh, he lives up there in the mountain. And he asks, does he has a very strong character? Oh man, the strongest character you will ever see. The guy is amazing. And it goes like, oh, he goes there. And then he finds the master, right, in the little town. And the master is meditating. He goes like, Master, can I talk to you? Master's, He waits. He waits. So, master, sorry, I need to talk to you. Yeah, no worries. Give me a second. I'll finish my meditation. I'll come back to you. So he goes like, whoa, that's weird. And then the guy starts trying to bother the master to see if the master reacts, right? And the master finishes meditation. Yes, how can I help you? Oh, I've heard that you had a strong character, but I see that that's wrong because you're not doing anything. I've been bothering you here for 2 hours and you don't do anything. About it, yeah, okay. And what do you want to do? Well, you don't have a strong character. And master says, the point of this story is that we believe the Western way of seeing a strong character is someone that will yell at you, or that would be, a strong character is someone that is some type of maybe rude or, aggressive or something like that. But for the Oriental way, a strong character is someone that you cannot take out of their center, peace, emotional maturity, out of their zen, right? So the master, you will bother the master, you would do it, and he will never get mad. He will not get out of there. He will not give you the power of his emotions, right? And that is what strong character means. So when you put yourself through hardship, when you put yourself through hard work in martial arts, and you become stronger, and now we know that part of our brain here located in the top left area of our frontal cortex develops, we become better at regulating emotions. So we become more of that Zen master, that we can control that situation and deal with stress in a better way, right? And that is what a strong character is. And now we have science backing this up. So when we lower the bar in martial arts, we're stealing away the possibility of that kid or that person to become that master with a strong character. When I give up, when you don't work for 10, 15 years for something, especially when you're a kid, when you don't have a goal, a long-term goal that you work for years to achieve, how would you develop that in adulthood?
Fair enough. Yep.
Right? So it's like with my kids, for example, okay, I want a tomato. Okay, so let's how do you say the tomato, to grow tomatoes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we have to wait 6 weeks for a tomato to come out. Oh, but it's too long. I did this with my kids when they were little. Yeah, but that's what it takes. 6 weeks is nothing. But for 4 years old, imagine 6 weeks and waiting for that tomato. So it's the same thing with martial arts. If I give a kid a bunch of belts so they feel they're being recognized for whatever they're doing, right? And I give you a black belt when you're 10 or 12, where's the hard work? Where's the development of the character? Where's the maturity? So I cannot give you a black belt at that age because you're not emotionally mature. You're not even an adolescent, right? Mm-hmm. So the problem with that, and hear me out, in my opinion, the martial arts schools that are doing that are robbing the kids of the opportunity to become strong-minded, strong character people, to become mature, to become better human beings.
See, there's the trick though. I mean, because there's the martial art mindset, and then there's the aspect of running a business. And because I think the problem is people nowadays are easily fucking discouraged, right? If they don't go and they train for 2 months and I want my first stripe, or I want my second stripe, or I want, depending on the martial art, a yellow or my blue belt. To me, the belts don't matter, because on the mat or in the ring, the better person is going to win. So to me, belts don't mean shit.
Yeah.
Right? But at the end of the day, there's the business aspect where some people need to be encouraged. They need something in order to stay motivated, which I think is the wrong thing to do.
But exactly. Motivation should come from the inside.
Dude, I agree.
And this is what happens. Many parents ask me, my kid don't want to come to jiu-jitsu anymore, for example. They're bored, whatever. Yeah, okay, cool. Bring them. No, but he doesn't want to come. It doesn't matter. He made a commitment. It's like my kids, when they were little, I never took them to the gym because they grew up seeing me going to the gym. And they told me, I want to go and I want to train. But they were little. And I told them, okay, fantastic. But we're going to make a deal. I'm going to bring you to the gym right now. But you can never quit for the rest of your life. I know you're too little to understand that, but I am not. And I'm going to keep you accountable to your word. Because one of the most important things as a man is to be a man of your word.
For sure, man.
So right now you're telling me you're going to come to the gym and you're going to train jiu-jitsu or wrestling or karate, whatever. All the things they do. You're never going to stop. This is a journey. Yes, I want to come. Okay, fantastic, good. You started going. And like any other kid, they're going to come to you and tell you, I don't want to go, I'm tired. Okay, yes, I listen to them. Yes, fantastic. Okay, you don't feel like coming? Okay, great. Get your shit, let's go to the gym. Oh yeah, but I don't want to come. No, but that doesn't matter. Because here's the point of something very important about martial arts. And I tell them, this is about learning how to be disciplined and follow a commitment. Because you gave me your word. That's commitment.
Yes.
And discipline means doing what you have to do no matter what. Like that student goes with a Zen master and asks, Master, what is discipline? Wash your dish after you eat. Yeah, but what is discipline? Wash your dish after you eat. Yeah, but what is it? Right after you eat, wash your dish. That's discipline. You do what you have to do.
And often what you don't want to do.
It doesn't matter.
Right. That's the difference between, like, again, you hear people talking about motivation all the time. Fuck motivation.
Motivation is worth nothing.
Sure. Because if you're, what happens when you're not motivated? Then you could fucking stop. It's the discipline that's important.
Or you rely, you need someone to motivate you to the things. So you're a fucking slave of someone else's ways or whatever. No, motivation is worth nothing. Oh, I'm not motivated to go to the gym. No, me neither. Me neither. And I don't care. I go because I have to go. Because I go every day because part of my routine is when I tell people, you brush your teeth, you wipe your butt if you go to the bathroom, you go to the gym. Period. It's about health. It's about discipline. It's about dedication. So my kids is that. And I do it. And all their parents ask me, oh, why is your kids always here? Because that's what they do. That's what they do. Like any other sport, I'm saying. It should be like that.
I agree.
Yeah, it should be like that. It's like you have a commitment, you're going to be disciplined. And that doesn't mean that they cannot practice other sports, which they do, right? And they're going to keep on trying to find if they like tennis or volleyball or rugby or whatever. It's fantastic. It's great, okay? And you have to try. But it's about picking something that they're not going to quit, that they have to work on it. And I think martial arts is one of most fantastic things because you're always growing. And it's what I love about martial arts too is that it's a way to stay in shape or doing sport, but you get something out of it, right? So you learn how to defend yourself,
100.
Which has helped me many times.
Yes.
Yeah.
I always say that everybody, man or woman, and for different reasons, but you should know how to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't need to kick everybody's ass, but you need to know how to fight because you carry yourself different.
Absolutely. And I cannot understand a man that doesn't know how to throw a punch.
I don't get it either. I don't know.
You have to learn two things. They're life-saving skills. Swimming and learning how to fight. Life-saving skills. If you fall in a pool, on the river, whatever, all right? You don't know how to swim, you're going to drown.
You're fucked.
If you're in the wrong situation, but I avoid conflict. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you want to avoid. There's a point where you can't avoid it. What are you going to do? You need to know how to defend yourself. It's not that you're going to, and people who practice martial arts are less violent because they have better control of themselves. Am I right? We know that. So it's actually a very good way to develop a more respectful human being too. Right? And also because in martial arts, you might be fantastic. There's always someone that can kick your ass. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yep, agreed.
It doesn't matter who you are. You can be the best at whatever, but probably your professor, sensei, whatever, can kick your ass.
Yes.
Right?
Yep.
So there's always, so that's the humbling part.
Yeah, I fucking have a problem with humility, right? Like it's just, but that, and that's in jiu-jitsu, that's where you really get humble. I mean, you and I will roll and you'll choke me out or you'll do whatever the fuck you do. And I have to accept that the only reason why I'm still alive is because you gave me my life, right? You could have broken something. You could have kept the choke on longer. And exactly. So there's the,
I get it because I've been on that side too. Because there's people that can kick my ass too, right? So it's like, okay. And then luckily for me, I tapped and they stopped.
That's right.
Good, fantastic. And it doesn't matter who you are. There is someone.
Yes.
So that.
But the higher the skill level, the less amount of people that are going to be able to kick your ass. So the greater, and there's a certain sense of confidence that you get.
Absolutely. It's like if you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, you're able to choke out 90% of the people in the world.
Sure.
99,
yeah,
40% of the people in the world, right?
Yeah.
Which gives you a self-confidence that you walk into a room and then find a keeping, what was that phrase that you told me once also? Have a plan to kill everyone in the room.
Yes. Yeah. Well, exactly. I mean, you know, any place I go into, typically, I look at the entrance. My back is never towards the entrance.
Yeah.
I'm always facing the entrance.
Yeah.
I know where the exit is.
Yes.
And I do look around at the people in wherever I am. Can I take that guy? Can I take that guy?
Yes, exactly.
Right? And you just need to be self-aware.
Self-aware. And it's part of the training. And it might look like some kind of psycho, but it's not. It's just, it's a human, if you want human instinct, right? Try to survive. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it doesn't mean that you cannot feel comfortable or relax in a certain environment, which you will, but it's just having that situational awareness.
Sure.
Right?
If shit goes sideways, I want to know where the fuck I'm going and who's going to be a problem.
Exactly. And you need to have, you're on the streets, you need to have situational awareness.
Sure.
Right?
How many people are walking on the fucking street looking at their phone?
Exactly. And then one of the things I love about martial arts too, is that when you're sparring, rolling, whatever, fighting, however you want to call it, you cannot think of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best way to be here and now. It's the best way to focus on the present moment.
Mm-hmm.
You think about the supermarket, you think about the problem that you think, get choked out.
Yeah.
For that period that you're rolling, sparring, fighting, whatever, you have to be
in the moment,
immersed in the moment.
Agreed.
And that's the most zen, the most spiritual, the most what makes you a better, more enlightened spiritual human being than being completely and fully present in the moment?
And it's very rare nowadays that people are actually in the moment, regardless of what it is they do.
Exactly.
They're always thinking about something else.
But when you do martial arts, you practice that.
Sure, otherwise you get fucked up.
Exactly. And so, in my opinion, martial arts has so many benefits. And when we move away from the martial art into the sport, we lose all of the 20 different things we've been talking about, benefits of martial arts, right? And we move away from it. And now you have a lot, that happens a lot in jiu-jitsu, you have a lot of training clubs. Mm-hmm. It's not a school. There's no, it might be a black belt there, but it's not a professor. It's not the figure of a professor. It's just a bunch of guys that get together and organically rolling. And what that's, by the way, specific drilling. That's what organic training means.
Okay.
And it's been there forever. Stop with the bullshit, right? Oh no, but it's different. Yeah, it's different because you smoke weed before you do it. That's the only difference, dude. It's still specific. But the only difference is that when we do specifics at the gym, I at least train you, teach you what to do and how to react to that specific situation instead of letting you organically get out of that. Okay? So anyways, that's another point, but it's related to this, but that's my idea. And the same thing happens so you have these clubs where people get together, a bunch of buddies to train with. It's better this place because they have a bunch of buddies. They can't withstand the discipline. Or maybe they do not know how to respect the authority, and having a professor and shutting the fuck up, right? And they don't have that. I don't know, because they didn't have a father or they didn't have, I don't care. That's not my problem. But at one point you have to learn how to respect authority. Am I right?
Yep.
Because if you want to be the authority, you have to be able to respect authority. If not, you become a tyrant, not an authority. You become a tyrant. When you, like me, I grew up under the authority of, for example, my father, my mentors, my senseis, my whatever. So I know where respect is. And when I ask, I know what to expect from my students.
Do you think respect is lacking nowadays?
Oh, absolutely. Come on. Look at just the jiu-jitsu community right now. What's the difference between WWE and UFC?
Yeah.
And if you're a martial artist and you don't want to engage in that trash talk,
yeah,
your contract is over.
Yes, we know both people. We know people that have
exactly. We know
from,
personally.
Yes.
We know personally people that went through that.
It's become, again, it becomes the business aspect of it. They like the shit talkers, like the Conor McGregors, right? Whereas I appreciated guys like George St. Pierre that was very fucking humble, very respectful. He had his background in Kyokushinkai. Thank you. That's a word. That's a bitch of a word. He very respectful.
Blame Masoyama about that word.
Kyokushinkai. But I love that style of like the kicking and the legs. Like it was very aggressive.
And,
but it doesn't sell tickets.
Rose Namajunas. Namajunas. Yeah. She's also a martial artist, and you see the way she talks and the way she speaks.
I think the honor has.
There's many Damian Maya. There's a lot of people that we know that don't go through that. They don't play that game, right?
But then they don't flourish in the UFC.
Exactly, because they sell. Conor McGregor is a genius at that.
For sure, shit talking.
Yes, you might like it, you might not like it, whatever you want to say. But first of all, he's a good fighter. And he knows how to play the game.
Yes.
He knows the business.
Yeah. But I think you take away a certain honor from the martial art. Like
absolutely.
And you and I both started in karate when we were young.
Exactly.
Right. So for me, it was very fucking honor. Like honor and respect was ingrained. It was instilled in you.
Beautiful.
Yes. Right.
It's beautiful. And so many people nowadays don't know what the beauty of that thing is. Set it. Okay. Seisa, kneel down. Okay. Moxo height. Close your eyes and meditate for a minute.
Yep.
Be present in the moment. Record that training session. What you learn in that training session. Moxo yame, height. Open your eyes. Come back up. Everybody in an organized fashion. Right? Present your respects not only to your sensei, professor that taught you something, but also to that lineage behind that professor, the hundreds of years and millions of thousands of hours of people trying to train and trying to learn things that you somehow get in a condensed way, okay? And through, because of all of the hardship and all of the hard work that people went through, we can enjoy a beautiful martial art. And some people go and become a world champion or whatever, a state champion, or they win they win gold at a 2-man bracket at a Kitchener competition, right?
Yeah.
And if you, what a blue belt, nice. So, and it's fantastic that you did it. It's fantastic that but you have to be humble, and you are there, and you won that because of your professor. Your professor
100.
taught you. And when I won, I gave medals to my professor when I won. Right? And I have some of my students, professor, here's my medal. Thank you, man. Thank you very much. I want you to keep it for me, but thank you very much, because they are appreciating that, dude, you learned from me. You could have learned it from anyone, any of the many other fantastic and amazing senseis and professors. Yes, but you picked me. Remember, the student chooses the master. The master doesn't choose the student, right?
There's also a saying, when the student is ready, the master will appear.
Exactly. But it's I'm honored. All of my students, I'm honored they picked me as their teacher. I'm honored about that because they chose me. They could have chosen anybody. And believe me, with anyone else is going to be an easier path, and you're going to have a bunch more belts. Okay.
Yeah.
but I'm honored that you picked me Okay. And I want to, why so long to get a black belt? Because it's not about the fighting. It's about all of those things, all of these things we're talking about. It's about the honor. It's about the respect. And those are things that you have to develop, that you have to understand, that you have to meditate and practice and go through it over and over and over again 1,000 times. So you internalize and you understand it at a deeper state, at a deeper, more profound level of consciousness, right? And all of that cannot be taught to a 12-year-old, and all of that cannot be taught in 40 years.
I agree. And do you really want to be that fucking brown belt getting smoked by a blue belt, right? Do you want to be that brown belt getting smoked by a lesser belt? You need to be worthy of the belt that you wear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying like, you know, as you get older, you're not going to have a problem with a more athletic or a stronger opponent.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, but still, you should be able to hold your shit. You should be able to hold your own. You should be a tough role.
Yeah, for sure. Right. For sure. And it's in your character, right? And it's in your character. If you're a pussy, you're gonna tap every time you feel some pressure. I can't breathe. Right? No, man. Keep it together. That feeling you're having, we all had it.
Yes.
We all had it. It's like it's like when you go into an MRI machine, I feel claustrophobic. Yeah, I'm claustrophobic, but I close my eyes and I visualize that beautiful beach.
Yep.
Right? And that open skies and that breeze blowing into my face and I breathe and suddenly, what it seems for me, seconds, I'm out of the MRI machine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right?
And it's that kind of mental fortitude that is what you get from martial arts.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
It's not just about being able to fight, right? Because
that's woof. That's it. Fourth, fifth.
It's a good thing.
Sixth most important thing.
I fucking dig it though.
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. I dig it too. It's beautiful. And it has saved my life many times.
Yeah, we're literally
my
that.
life.
Yeah.
So, but my point is that you lose all of that about martial arts. Mm-hmm. We're losing all of that just because we brought the bar down here. Mm-hmm. So it's not about the belt, because the belt is just a piece of fabric that holds your jacket closed, right? But it represents something. The belt represents something, okay? And what is that belt representing? Well, depending on where you come from, that belt will represent all of what that we talk about, all of that hard work, the type of person you became to be able to fit into that black belt, right? Mm-hmm. Mentality and all of that, or just, you know, a dude that had money enough to pay for the classes.
And that's always been my problem. Like we've discussed this. There's always people that come to train that just want to be there to get out of their day-to-day life. They want to go there to say that, oh yeah, I train in jiu-jitsu, I train in whatever. But I've never, for me, and maybe this is a fault of my own, I always had that not aggression, but that drive to just be the best, right? Every time I roll with anybody, when you and I roll, realistically, I know I'm not going to beat you, but I try to beat you.
Oh, and that's fantastic. And I applaud that. You know that I think that is absolutely important, because not because I'm going to beat you, you're not going to try, because that's the loser's mentality.
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to lose, like, so I'm going to go, I'm not going to try,
right?
Because you're going to beat me up. No, man, it's just try to grow. If I roll with someone that's going to beat me up, I'm going to do my best, because that's the only way I can become that person that it's going to be able to beat that guy. And I roll and I train with some of the biggest and strongest and best fighters, for example, in jiu-jitsu and in karate. I had my share too of good karate guys, and it was that put me at another level. And I understand this. It is okay if you don't train just because you want to be in shape.
Sure,
and you want
I just
to do
don't
something.
have that mindset.
Yes, but I understand this. It's fantastic if you do it, because at least you're doing it.
Yes,
right?
Agreed.
But not like a loser. So there's a difference.
Yeah, fair enough.
You don't have to take it like it's your life mission to become a black belt in jiu-jitsu. You have to be a world champion. No. There's no need. Being a world champion there's no need for.
Sure.
You
Okay.
understand?
But if you're spending the time there, put the balls
Exactly.
in. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Is the hour that I'm doing or the 2 hours that I'm doing jiu-jitsu, I'm gonna do the best. I'm gonna focus. I'm gonna try to be my best. That's not gonna be my goal the other 23 hours of the day. I'm not gonna be thinking about jiu-jitsu or karate or judo or whatever. No. That's okay. It's just when you come to the gym. But when you are there, be there.
Fucking
and
right.
do your best.
And that mentality should extend into anything you do in your life.
Exactly. And it's what I told you. And it's what I tell my students. The mats don't lie. I know who you are out of here because of who you are here.
Yeah. Yep.
Meaning, if you squeeze a bag full of shit, what do you get out of that bag?
The shit.
Not oranges.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So under pressure is how you know people.
Yes.
And you know what people are capable of and how people are going to react and how people are going to be. It's under pressure. So the pressure when you are training, when you are fighting, you get that out. And many times seeing who you really are, you don't like it.
Fucking right.
Many times, because I have people that come to me after, go, oh, Professor Falk, I was rolling with whatever and I get desperate and I tap, I felt fear or whatever. Yes, fantastic. Don't feel bad about yourself. Now you know that about yourself. Now you have something else to work on as a person, as a human being, something to work on to become a better person. You get scared under pressure. Fantastic. Nice, fantastic. Now you know it. Now you can work on it. Good. So
that's the problem. People don't like seeing themselves.
Don't like seeing their weaknesses.
That's right.
Am I right?
Right.
And it's like in jiu-jitsu, you will, like many other things in life, but we're talking about jiu-jitsu. In jiu-jitsu, you will think, because the mats don't lie. However you react, if you're honest on the mats, under pressure, you're an honest person. If you're a piece of shit and you're going to try to find a trick and you're going to bite me in the pinky so you can escape that, or you're going to fake tap so I let you go, you are that person outside of the mats.
Yep.
Don't lie to me. I know who you are outside of the mats. Do you understand? So the mats don't lie. Tatami don't lie. I've been there my whole life and I've seen that. You see who the person really is. Only under pressure.
And that's why, to me, the belts don't matter.
No.
Because the mats won't lie to you.
Won't lie to you.
The better person is going to be there. So if I have a white belt and I'm tapping purple belts, really, what did the belts matter then?
Yes, exactly.
So yeah, I've never been one to concern myself with the belts. But let's ruffle some feathers now. One of the common arguments you see online is that, and when I first started training martial arts, I was studying Kali and I was studying karate, and then jiu-jitsu came out. It was first introduced to the mainstream by the UFC.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck that, man. That's not going to work. And then because I was a stand-up guy, right? And I didn't want some new art coming in showing how ineffective it was. Yeah. Because as soon as you are on the ground, if you have no ground skills, you are fucked.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but a lot of the argument is now in a self-defense, in an actual fight, you still get the argument that jiu-jitsu doesn't work.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That's stupid. Okay? It's like saying, I don't know. It's like many other things, like saying that Mike Tyson is not going to knock you out because he's 60 years old. No, he's going to fucking knock you out.
Yes,
okay?
yes.
He's not at his prime yet, but he's going to knock you out. So what happened, and this is something important. Let's dig into this. This is going to be very controversial. People are not going to like this.
Good.
Especially because we're speaking in English, right? In the late 90s, early 2000s, when we started coming with my professor to the US to train, to compete, the first competitions, right? I remember we went to the first and second NAGA, North American Grappling Association. Fantastic job that the guy has done with those competitions and many other small competitions. We used to come and compete. And I remember many, especially with the no-gi competitions, many wrestlers and many judo guys were jumping in, and judo guys in the jiu-jitsu competitions with gi and wrestlers in the no-gi. Mm-hmm. And I remember I was tapping everyone. I tapped all. No, so you have the argument is, but a high-level wrestler can beat up a purple belt or whatever, right? Hear me out. One of the most important things about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is that Jiu-Jitsu put the grappling arts on the map.
Yep.
Before Jiu-Jitsu became mainstream, wrestlers maybe heard about a guillotine, but they didn't use it. So don't lie to me. One of the fantastic things about my professor, Francisco Salvador, he's a master. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, he's a black belt in judo, he's a black belt in karate. He did sambo many years and he was in the wrestling national team. So, and he's one of those guys that he was black belt in judo and a black belt in karate and blah, 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 and walked into a mat and they just cleaned the floor with him. And it was like, wow, I knew nothing. And not long ago, a guy was telling me that he was a black belt in 1996 when he went to his first jiu-jitsu class. And he was a black belt in judo and he got his ass handed. He was telling me it was absolutely amazing. I knew nothing. And this is even more controversial, am I right? Oh, judo and jiu-jitsu, the same thing. Jiu-jitsu comes from judo and and the Kosan judo was the same. And then jiu-jitsu, I don't know about that. And I'm gonna tell you something. There is a video of specifically Royler and Rickson Gracie rolling with judo legend Severn, in the 1988, 86, something like that. And they were doing Neguasa, and you can see in the video Royler with 50 something kilos going. They couldn't control him. But Rickson with about 80 kilos or so, 78 kilos, he tapped every single black belt in that room. We're talking about old school 80s judo guys that used to do Neguasa during a Neguasa session, okay? And Rickson Gracie is tapping everybody out. So if you want to tell me that jiu-jitsu and judo, Neguasa judo and jiu-jitsu were the same up to the 90s or 2000s when jiu-jitsu started to grow, it's like, no. There is actual video footage and proof, and you're talking, but it's Rickson Gracie. Rickson Gracie is great, right? But that guy, I think he's Severn. Judo national team from the U.S. U.S. has one of the best judos in the world.
Okay.
Getting tapped, and you can see the videos. Rickson taps him like 3-4 times in a row till the guy stops. He goes, no, stop. It backs down on Rickson Gracie. So we're talking about the same level of guys. It's not just a random black belt in judo and Rickson Gracie. It's just the top of the top, right?
Okay. So we're talking grappling. What about when we introduce striking into it? And listen.
I know, I understand, but what I'm saying is that before jiu-jitsu became mainstream, no one knew this much about grappling. So right now, you have a kid that does wrestling, he's been doing wrestling, he goes to college, and he can come into a open mat and do fantastic.
Yes.
Right? But because there is a consciousness about grappling and knowledge about grappling that didn't exist 10, 20, 30 years ago.
For sure.
It didn't exist, right?
But wrestling doesn't have the same subs that JITS does.
No. It doesn't have submissions, but they have an understanding of grappling. Fantastic. Wrestlers are not only fantastic grapplers, they're freaking athletes.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like those guys are machines.
Yes, agreed.
Nice. And it's very tough. It's very hardcore. One of the things that I like about wrestling or about judo is how hardcore the training is. It doesn't matter who you are.
It is tough.
Weak people quit wrestling in high school. They quit. And then the ones that stay in wrestling because they are strong, they have a strong will, they have a strong character, they keep on working, they go hard. They like to be under that demanding structure that wrestling has or judo has or whatever. They're freaks of nature. Amazing.
I remember when you and I started judo and I'm like, fuck man, this is tough.
Oh, it's so hard. It's different. Am I right? The cardio, the conditioning, the speed, the setting up, the surprise, it's different. The stand-up, the tachiwasa part of judo, right? But that world, that knowledge of grappling didn't exist 20, 30 years ago. So we were going into the US and we were competing, and it was so easy to submit a wrestler. It was the easiest thing in the world, right?
No gi.
No gi. And then the judo guys in the gi.
Yes.
And many of the judo guys would come, and I remember the 90s, and they would come to the small competitions. They will come and they will register as blue belts when they were black belts in judo, and they will get tapped by a blue belt, right?
Yes.
And I remember the first time I tapped, I was a white belt. First time I tapped a judo black belt.
Wow.
And I remember it was in the gym when we went through that era where everybody was coming into the gym and challenging us. Yeah, we went through that era with my professor, right? So I had the chance to actually test jiu-jitsu. You're asking me, does it work? Well, actually, I tested it myself. Not only on a fight on the street, but in the gym. We went through that era after the UFC, right? Where everybody was coming into the jiu-jitsu gyms to start challenging jiu-jitsu. And I fought boxers, professional boxers. I fought 2 Sambo world champions.
But you also have history and skills in stand-up.
Yes. I know. And therefore, for example, if there was like a karate guy or a boxer or whatever, my professor would go, Francisco would go, okay, Martin, you go. Right? I would work a little bit on the stand-up, but just take them down. So much easier. Take them down, it was over.
Yes, agreed.
Right? I wouldn't spend my time exchanging with those guys, right? And but wrestlers, we fought everybody. And it was kind of easy. And understand, that I tell this to people, not because I was amazing. It's because jiu-jitsu is amazing. And now there is a general knowledge of grappling that didn't exist 20 or 30 years ago. People had no clue. You get caught in a rear naked choke and you didn't know what that was. You had no idea.
Even now, though, even with the average person will have no idea how to defend themselves. Like there's a saying that's going on, like most people overestimate their ability to fight. And I guess between people.
Oh, yeah. There's actually a study. I think, at the University of Oxford. Because, British people, they fight on bars and on the streets, right?
Yeah.
They're not pussies, they fight. So, and they did a study with that people that all of them have at least been in a bar fight once in their life or in high school or whatever, right? And everybody overestimated their 800%. That was the media, 800%.
Right.
Overestimated their ability to fight. And we all do it. I think I fight better than I do.
Yeah, I don't know, dude.
Yeah, but I think I'm fantastic when I fight, and I'm just a black belt, right? I'm not outstanding. I'm not amazing like many of the guys that I've had the chance to learn.
I think you're being humble.
Well, I don't know. I'm just faking it. No, I'm joking. It's like no, because I haven't had the chance to roll with amazing people. So I have, just to give you an example, just to give you a couple of names. I roll with Minotauro, with Arona, with Comprido, with Demian Maya. So it's like, I know what it is to feel like a blue belt. Being a black belt and feeling like a blue belt, I know what that feeling is.
Sure.
Okay? So I might do well, but there's another level, right? So jiu-jitsu works in real life? Yes, it does work in real life.
But do you feel that, I personally feel in all aspects of your life, you should examine your vulnerabilities and go there. So if you're if you're financially weak, go there. If you're spiritually weak, go there. So if you're taking a look from a martial art perspective, I had nothing but stand up. So then I went to the ground, right? So I had groundwork. Okay, I need to learn weapons. So I learned how to shoot. I learned how to use a knife. You need to be proficient in all aspects of your life. You can't be weak.
Absolutely. I agree with you 100%. Remember what I told you about training and lifting weights. It's, I don't train to look good. I haven't done a bicep curl in 20 years, right? It's like, I train to develop that movement.
Yes.
Right? And whatever I'm the weakest at.
Yes.
So when I do this, we're humans.
And I started doing that.
When our humans are super weak at doing this,
Yes.
okay? This hyperextension with abduction of the shoulders, right? We're super weak at this. Like we're weak at pushing over our heads, or even more with an undergrip pushing over our heads. We're super weak at this motion. So I basically base my training on that.
Yeah.
Okay, because I need that to be stronger. Good?
Yes.
And I squat ass to the grass. Because why wouldn't I go all the way down? If I have the mobility, why wouldn't I go all the way down and develop the strength to stand up from the ground up? If I have the mobility, if not, I'm going to work on the mobility. But I've been working on mobility my whole life, thanks to martial arts, right?
Yes.
But if I have it, I'm going to squat all the way up, all the way down. Okay, so I'm going to try to be strong at what I am weak. It's what you're saying. I agree with you because I've done it my whole life. That's why I started doing one martial art and then the other, and then I needed to learn about the other. And that's how I started jiu-jitsu, because that thing I told you about my professor, that he felt that they were cleaning the mats with him, right? I felt that with my professor. When I went to the first class, it was, oh, I know nothing.
Yes,
I know nothing. But at least my professor was a black belt in judo and a wrestler. I was not. So it was even worse. Right? So I know that jiu-jitsu works on a fight, in a real fight, not only because I've used it, and also because I went through that stage in history where people were coming into the gyms and challenging us.
That's fucking crazy time.
It was great. My professor had to put a little note on the window of the gym. This says challenges Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 7 p.m. Because we couldn't have classes. And many times, many people came in and they just, I just want to try a class. I just want to try a class, right? And then when you start, they do the class and they start rolling and they go hardcore, and then they were.
That's such a douchey move, though. Like, why the fuck would you do that?
I had the douchiest of the douched. Is this? Oh, I'm gonna try a class. So we go and we're gonna start rolling, and then of course when you start with someone that is new, right? You start on your knees.
Yeah.
I don't start on the knees, the rollings, because that's not how you start a fight.
But yes.
So that's why I always start standing up. I know many jiu-jitsu people have that, and I'm going to tell you why. It's because down there, gyms are super small. And I told you the size of my gym.
Yeah.
And it's super small. So you might have to start on your knees because there's no chance you can start standing up. That's the reason why. But even though Professor made us work on stand-up, and we had those stand-up fights, right? Because it was needed. Okay? So, but I remember this guy comes in and Professor says, Martin, go with him, explain him to how to roll, like kind of introducing them into rolling. I go, yes, before. And I kneel down and okay, man, we're going to start. You're going to say it like this, bam, bam.
Yeah.
And we're going to start. And when Professor says, combate, the guy from his knees, and he was kneeling down, and I was with one knee down and one knee up.
Yeah.
We kneel in jiu-jitsu, right? He jumped. Man, boom! And jumped kind of into my guard and started hammering me. Boom, boom. And I was like, whoop. I grabbed the armbar right there, locked the arm. The guy, tap, tap, tap. I was so fucking mad. I say, I didn't fucking break your arm because my professor is there and we're in our tatami, right? We're in the gym.
Yeah.
Out of respect, but this shit happens anywhere else, I'm gonna fucking break everything. You're a fucking idiot. But that happened. That happened not only to me. I'm talking about what happened with me, but I've heard that story from
I've heard it a lot. Yes.
People that they go disguised as I don't know anything, and then you're gonna just roll. It's not even a balitudo class. It's not an MMA class. Just roll, and they go bam, and they hit you, or you take the back. This happened to me. You take the back and they elbow you.
Yeah.
They go, oh man, no, dude, you cannot do that. Yeah. That happened.
I hear that story a lot. I don't understand why you go in pretending you're something that you're not. Because if you're doing that, if you're going in saying I've never rolled or I'm a white belt, and let's say a purple belt, you're purposely going in there to fuck people up.
Yeah.
That is the antithesis of, like, it's against everything what the martial arts is about. That's an ego play.
Exactly.
Yeah. You
Exactly.
deserve to be fucked up, in my opinion.
Exactly. And look, I come from a stand-up background, right?
Yes.
I started doing karate at 80 years old, and I did it for basically my whole life. and in kickboxing and all of that. And my dad is an ex-boxer. So the first thing I learned in life was boxing, right? But I know if you go one-on-one, jiu-jitsu, there's nothing better, period. And I had the background, of growing up in a violent place.
Yes, we're going to get into that, dude.
Where we were fought on the streets, right? It's not like here that, one fight happens. No, dude. And I had my first knife fight when I was 16. So, and thank God it didn't last. Just a few seconds, right? But the thing is that I have tested jiu-jitsu. And even though you might be great at throwing punches, who's better at throwing punches than a boxer? Hard, right?
Yep, for sure.
They can close the distance.
Yes, they can.
So if they can close the distance, imagine what someone that is actually trained to close the distance can do to you. You know how I'm checking my phone?
Yes, we're going to get to the reason why you are later.
You were.
The only concern is that, because I did boxing for many years, when you start adding kicks into it.
Yeah.
Is that him?
No.
Okay. When you start adding kicks into it, it extends the level of distance that you and I have.
Yes.
If I start throwing teeps to you, or if I start kicking you in the legs, I do believe that every grappler,
needs to know how to throw a punch.
Yes. And at least defend a punch.
Exactly. And if you're a striker, you need to know some basic ground rules so you can get out of there and go back into your stand-up game.
Yes.
And if you're a jiu-jitsu guy, you need to know how to throw punches, because I told you, if you want to be a good guard passer, what do you have to do?
You have to know how to have a good guard.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a good guard player, you need to know how to pass a guard.
Yes.
You cannot play only 50% of jiu-jitsu. You have to play it all.
Yes.
You have to learn it all. You might be better at this. You might feel more comfortable at this in jiu-jitsu, but you need to know how to do it all. You cannot just rely on, I'm fantastic at footlocks. Yeah, fantastic, great. But if someday you fight some guy that you cannot get to your feet, or he doesn't have a fucking foot, what are you going to do?
No, you're right. No, I think I think you need to be well versed, but I think you need to have your skill set. Right.
Yeah.
So for me now,
whatever it is. Yes.
Yeah. I like getting close and taking somebody to the ground, but you also, so let's play it this way. In an actual street altercation, do you believe in taking someone to the ground?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm not going to pull guard.
Yeah, then we're going to get to that because
but what happens is this: there's a nice video of a black belt in Brazil that he gets into a fight. He came out of a shoulder injury, so he's wearing a
sleeve,
right?
Brace, sling.
Yeah, sling. And he grabs the guy and he pulls guard, and kicks the knee and closes the triangle and chokes the guy out. If that guy didn't know how to do guard with one arm, what was going to happen? We know what was going to happen. So, you're never going to do guard on the streets. You never know, man. I have been in the situation where I fell down.
Sure. And I think the difference is that when people say about pulling guard, it means staying in guard. You can pull guard to sweep.
Because that's a misconception of guard. That's a misconception of guard that has been growing because of this sports jiu-jitsu.
Pulling guard.
Pulling guard. No, pulling is one thing. Sitting in guard.
Yes.
It's like, whoa, man, what that? Now, because that has nothing to do with martial arts. You sit down on the street, they're going to kick you in the face, period.
Yeah.
We know that. Nice. Yeah. So the thing is that if you pull guard to sweep or submit.
Yes.
You don't pull guard to stay in guard.
Because you're going to get fucked up.
And you keep on, no, I'm going to pull guard so I can have a break. No, dude, that's not the way you do jiu-jitsu. There's no breaks in jiu-jitsu. You're fighting, you fight. Okay? You pull guard, you attack, you sweep, you attack, you submit, you sweep, you attack. Because the second you stop, you are my guard. The second I stop attacking you, you're going to start attacking. Your attack is passing my guard. So what is left for me is to start defending and recovering and defending and recovering. Then I can break that cycle and start attacking. But if you're in my guard and I'm attacking you and attacking you and attacking you, when are you going to pass my guard?
No, you're right.
So that's the point. If I pull guard, but I don't attack, then you're going to attack, and your attack is to pass my guard, right? And the same thing if I'm on top and I want to pass your guard, and I just now you're going to start attacking.
That's right.
If I'm passing guard, I'm passing guard. I'm not going to stop until I pass guard. Oh, but I get tired. Well, dude, play chess. Of course you're going to get tired. Train more, get better.
That's right.
Right? But you, that thing, going through that hardship, going through what's hard, going through what's difficult. Yes, of course, you have to do that. And jiu-jitsu is that. It's also hard and it's complicated and it's complex. And you have to, because that's what's going to save your ass. If you need it, you're going to sit guard and close a triangle. You close triangle, the people stand up and slam you against against the pavement, against the sidewalk. Am I right?
Yep.
So it is going to happen. Oh no, but I grabbed the leg. Dude, I have a friend of mine. He owns a store, and a guy broke in, pulled a piece of the roof sheets and went into the store and installed a couple of things. So he went to go and get the guy, and the guy was big. He told me the guy was big. He's almost my size, and he told me the guy was big. And the guy, well, the guy was like, oh, no, I didn't steal that. I have it in camera, dumbass. I have you stealing my shit in camera because they have Sam. Oh, well, what are you going to do? And I was like, I'm going to fucking kick your ass. Okay, try. So my friend go, bam, bam, boom, boom, takes him down, boom, pass, mounts. And he tells me, I was mounting the guy. I'm pounding the guy. And the guy sit up with me. Boom. And stood up with me. On him. And he had to jump out of that. He was like, fuck. And then he started, and this is a guy that is my size, so he's not a small dude.
That's right.
Now he go boom, boom, started taking him down, took his back and choked him out. But it's like, the guy stood up with him sitting on his chest. You see? But thank God, well, he took another approach and choked the guy out, took his back and choked the guy out, right? And he's a black belt on the Francisco too. On my professor. But yeah, jiu-jitsu will save your life 1,000 times. And if you're a striker, you need to know some ground. And if you're a ground fighter, you need to know some striking.
I think you should be more of a ground game with some striking. I think you need to know how to defend, because realistically, in a street altercation, there's going to be a connection between the two people. There's going to be interaction. There's going to be a closing of the distance. We're not going to, and let's, you and I are going to spar here. If we actually pick a fight right now, it's going to happen right in here, and we're going to be tight together. Yeah. I'm not going to be able to fucking throw jabs from the distance.
Yes.
I may be able to
I understand. I understand that. But also, and here's my point, why I love karate so much, is that it trains you to fight more than one opponent.
Right? Fair, yes.
Well, but the argument is, well, I can fight more than one opponent in jiu-jitsu. You can't. Well, you cannot fight two of me. So I cannot fight two, I don't know, Demian Maias, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter if the guy's not a striker. It doesn't matter who you are. I cannot fight two good fighters, right? I cannot fight two, I don't know, Conor McGregor's. It's going to be really hard to get out of that one, right?
Yeah.
Now, I remember, especially two occasions, right? One was in Spain when I was living in Barcelona. I remember I'm walking in the Gothic area of Barcelona, right?
Okay.
I'm like 2 a.m. in the morning, I'm going to a bar live in Europe happens very late at night.
Yes,
right? So
yes.
2 a.m. in the morning is a normal time to meet your friends at a bar or something like that. And I'm walking, I'm trying to find this narrow, dark corridor, like in that area. It's very common. And then these four guys come to me, for little short guys, for Moroccan guys, come to me and say, hey, do you have the time? No, I don't have a watch. And so the guy said, well, but then pulls a knife like this.
Yeah.
Then give me your money. And the guy, four guys surrounded me. Right? That's what is wrong with you? No, give me the money. Well, first of all, that's not even a knife. Okay? And I told him, you don't know where the fuck I'm come from. So please just walk away. Let's avoid getting hurt because this is not going to be good for any of us. You can stab me, but some of you are going to get hurt. I'm going to do my best, whatever. And the guy No, give me a. So I remember that the guy stand the hand and I grab the hand and I slap him with open hand in the ear. No, bah! And the guy went down, boom. And I remember I put one of the guys in those big trash cans that you see in Barcelona at the time, the ones that are like oil barrels, right?
Yeah.
Those ones. And I put him in the head, boom. I beat the shit out of the 4 guys, but they were little though, of course. But karate helped me. I threw some kicks, I threw some punches. I was able to do that, right?
Sure.
And another one was in Tangier in Morocco. I went, nothing against Morocco. I actually love it. But I was in Seville. I went to the Feria de Sevilla, the Fair Seville.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. The gypsies and beautiful. No, amazing. And when that's done, I'm walking the next morning. I'm walking out. The sun is shining. I walk out by a tourism agent office, right? You remember used to go to buy the tickets to travel instead of going on online, right? The
back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day. And I go and I see the map at the end of Spain and I see, right there. I mean, Tangier, Africa's right there. And I walked into the girl that was sitting at the desk and said, hey, how do I get to Morocco right now? Go, we have a package. No. Right now, I want to walk there. How do I get there? She goes, well, you can take the train here and then you cross the ferry. Okay, thank you, bye. And I went just with what I was wearing, and I went to the train, took the ferry, crossed over to the other side. And next morning, I go out, and this guy comes to me outside of every hotel. You need a tourist, you need a guide, sorry. And I go, okay, take me around town. The guy takes me here and there and goes to eat. And at the end of the day, Tangier has Tangier has been controlled in history by the Dutch, by the Portuguese, by the British, by the French, by everybody, right? Mm-hmm. So they speak a bunch of languages. People are very street smart in that area. And even the kids, they speak whatever in order to sell you stuff and do things. And very smart people. So, and there's a mountain, right? And at the top of the mountain is this market. This story is fantastic because it looks like a friggin' movie. And there's a market, and we get to the market, and the guy said, well, okay, we're done with the touring and blah, blah, blah. It's over. Oh, good job. Yeah, fantastic. Good. And I'm going to pay the guy, whatever. And the guy says, oh, you have to come with me. No, man, I'm okay. I'm just going, no, you have to come with me. And the guy grabbed me by the arm. I'm in the street. The market is there. And the guy grabs me by the arm and says, no, you have to come with me. And I go, okay, no, man, I'm not going to come with you. And he makes a sign to one of the taxi drivers here. This black Fiat. If you drove a car when you were a kid, was exactly that design. I don't remember the model of 147, something. One of those Fiats, those are the taxis there, usually a Fiat or Renault, whatever, at the time. And it says that yellow thing with the black letters on top that said taxi, right? And the guy drives, parks in front of me. He gets out of the car and comes to me and grabs me, opens the door and grabs me by the other hand and they try to push me into the car. So I realize, they're trying to kidnap me. And I go, no. And I go back, I kick the door and the door closes and I grab his arm, and you know this one, am I right? You grab the arm, I go underhooking over the shoulder, bring the head down, control the head, and I throw the guy against the window. And like in movies, when you throw people against the window, the window, stop. Okay, that doesn't happen in real life. Okay? I did like this. It was, whop, boom. And the guy dropped. I was like, whoop, boom, bah. And the guy dropped. But the window didn't break. The window didn't break. And then I grabbed the other guy and I hit the other guy. Bam, bam, bam. And I don't know, a fraction of a second, but you're tunnel vision, right?
Yeah.
And I start hearing the people yelling. So when I do that and I stop, I realize that the guy is on the back of the car and I am holding him with my punches. He was already knocked out. So I stop and the guy falls on the ground. And I look around And the people are yelling at me. Oh, fuck. And then I see the guys doing signals like, come this way. No, come, don't worry, come this way. And I walk, and the guy, no, you have to get out of here before the police comes. And I realize they want to help me out. And then, I'll go this way, and you start running in the market. And the people from the market go that way, run that way. And I end up running into a little corridor. And from this noise and this madness of the market, I go, and I walk, and I end up on one of those little squares. 2 kids playing in the corner. And I look up. It was like surreal. It was a fucking movie. I was like, what the fuck? And I see my knuckles with blood, and I clean my knuckles. And I start walking down the stairs, getting lost into that little neighborhood. Now I got out of there, and I just went straight to the port, and I took the ferry back to, I was not going to deal with it. But I realized at the time that that was a normal practice, and the people were fed up with that. So they were trying to help me, because probably they did kidnap a lot of tourists to get the money, like a express kidnapping situation. And then they were helping me because of that. That was fantastic. And it's one of those things where the striking or being able to handle more than one person helped me.
But look what would have happened to you if you didn't know how to fight.
Oh, yeah.
You would have been fucked.
Yes, but also you have to be smart, because I have another one, right? I'm in Paris. The area, there was early 2000s, right? So the area north of La Gare du Nord in Paris, the North Station, train station, very famous. So when you go up, that was at the time a very not nice neighborhood, right? So I go because I met some guys, and we ended up at a party of someone's house. And then I kept, 2, 3 a.m. in the morning. I decided to go out. The building, it's in front of a square park thing, right? And at the other side of that, you could see some shops still open, like convenience store open in the corner. And then the main street there used to go down where I was going to go to the subway or bus or whatever. And when I'm getting out of the building, the girl tells me, that the owner of the apartment said, but you have to just walk around, don't cross the park. And the park it was a square park, and it had this walking path like an X, right? So, and I get out of the building, and I see that light of the convenience store. I see it at the end of the other side. So I'm like, oh, fuck it, I'm just going to walk. And I start walking. And I hear a voice. The guy, hey, look around, and I don't see anyone. The guy talks to me, and I don't see anyone. And suddenly I do like this, and I just saw a set of teeth up here. And when I look down, I see the buckle, like here. I was like, oh, fuck. The guy was huge. He was wearing an Adidas jacket.
Yeah.
It seems like green or something. It was not black, but it was like dark, not black. And I was like, oh, and I remember the logo of the Adidas up here. And I was like, oh, fuck. And the guy asked me in French, you want to buy drugs? No, man. No, thank you. And I started walking, and when I try to walk past him, the guy puts his hand on my chest and stops me. Dude, the hand was from shoulder to shoulder. And I was like, oh, fuck. Yeah, man, what do you want? And then I turn around, and there's 2 more guys, same size. And I was like, oh, fuck. Okay, what do you want? No, well, man, whatever, the money, whatever, if you're not going to buy it, what are you doing here? And I go like, okay, man, this is what's going to happen. I don't have any money. And I told him as well, I'm an illegal alien. I don't have any money on me, dude. You can check me, I don't have any money, okay? I'm just going to go because I'm in the same situation as you. I don't have anything. So if you want to try to rob me, go ahead and do it. Yes, the 3 of you might be able to kill me, but I know some things, and at least one of you is going to get badly hurt. So pick who is going to go first because I'm going to do my best to fuck you up. Okay? Or you can just let me walk and we call it a night. And the guy laughs. And okay, man, go ahead. Don't worry. Good luck, whatever. Okay, good luck. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I walked away. That I have those movie situations because of being around. But that's the case. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I know how to fight. I was not going to fight those three beasts.
Fucking monsters, yeah.
Because I don't know if they knew how to fight or not, but there were three huge beasts. So there was no karate, no jiu-jitsu, no nothing that was going to pull me. I'm not John Wick, right? That was going to put me out of that situation. So it's also what you were saying, trying to assess what is most important, what is more valuable at certain points and or moments in life, right? And pick what's best.
So how many black belts would actually be able to fight in a street fight?
Will new school or old school?
New school.
Oh, I don't know, man. You have some schools that just by having attendance for a number of years, 3 times a week, you get your black belt.
Yep.
Very famous name, very famous school, probably the biggest school in the world. Has that policy when it comes to jiu-jitsu, right? And the same happens with other martial arts. Taekwondo is one of them.
Oh, I know, dude. I came from a Taekwondo background.
And you know, Taekwondo used to be a martial art. Right now, it's a fucking school program, after school program. That's it. Yeah. That's it. There's no fighting. No one on one of those Taekwondo schools can fight. No, it's a bunny jumping. And you look at the Olympics, what they do at the Olympics with the Olympic Taekwondo, which is the worst. Well, that's what we were talking about, right?
Yeah.
Once the Olympic Committee touches something, they destroyed it. There's some guys still doing ITF, right? International Taekwondo Federation, doing the old school Taekwondo, but not here. You won't find it here in North America and Western world. Why? Here's an important point. Why do you have that here or Western Europe, but you don't have it in Eastern Europe, Middle East, Africa, or South America? Why? Super simple. Because there, people fight on the streets. A kid will fight on the street at one point or another, either at school or going back home or going to a party. You're going to have to fight. And it happened to me, and it happened to every single one of my friends. So if you're 12 and you're a black belt and you get your ass kicked at school or a street by another random kid, your parents are going to go back to your sensei, professor, whatever. Hey, dude, my kid is a black belt and he got his ass kicked by a random kid that grab him by the neck. Mm-hmm. Well, here's the point. We have a good business structure that allows us to make a lot of money out of you by making you believe you're a black belt, right? But in real life, you're not a black belt. You still need a few more years of training. They're not going to say that. Right, but that system, that business structure strategy works here because of that culturally. Because culturally, people here in the Western world, Northwest Western world, don't fight as much on the street as happens in Eastern Europe, South America, whatever else.
But it's not even actually physically fighting. It's the fact that if you are so easily defeated mentally or physically, that will translate into every aspect of your life.
Yes, of course. Right. Of course. Yeah. And it's like being afraid of competing. No, competing is uncomfortable. There's some psychos that loves to compete, right? Mm. My kids are one of those. but competing, it's a stressful situation, right? But you have to do something hard. You have to put yourself. I didn't compete for years because of the accident that I have where I fractured my neck, right? So it's like my weak point. So competing, it's kind of hard. But after many years of my kids challenging me, I went and I competed at the NAGA Worlds this year, right? And it took me like a month to recover from the neck pain, from that snaps down they were throwing at me, right? But it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable, right?
Yeah,
it's hard.
You need to do what's uncomfortable.
You need to know, I don't have anything to prove. I'm competing just because I was fooling around with my kids, right? And we went all and competed at the same tournament that we all won at the same tournament. So it was a nice memory, right? But it is but it was like, okay, I'm going to do something that I don't want to do because I hated competing. I'm going to do something that I don't want to do. This time is going to be this one. There's always something different, but this time is going to be this one. I'm going to do this one, this thing that I don't like to do. And I went and I competed. And well, it went well, but was it hard? Yes, it was hard. Not physically. It was not, I didn't get tired or anything like that. It was hard because of my neck, and I have to be aware of it, and, you know, and trying to follow the many rules of the competition
I know.
thing. I did this and I did that. Oh no, they got a point by doing this, then an advantage. I did a sweep, and then the referee didn't count the sweep, and it was like, yeah, but no, because it was a one motion. I did, but anyways. But that's part of the game. So I'm not going to change the game. If I'm going to jump into the game, I'm going to respect the game, right?
Yeah.
But because I'm playing that game. But that's not the way I train. I train to kill. And no. I train athletes, people to compete. But I always give you the option. This is what's going to happen, and this is what's going to happen in here. If we're doing this version with gi, we're doing this version with no gi. And this is the version of vale tudo. Yes. Right? This is what you're going to do if you're in a live vale tudo.
That to me is what appeals to me. The actual
exactly. And I tell you, if you're here, you're going to do this, no worse. But if you were fighting, you have to be careful with this and this, right? You're exposing yourself for an elbow, you're whatever. So you take that into consideration. I like to teach it like that. I like to teach the jiu-jitsu that actually works. The one that I learned from my professor, from Francisco, that actually works.
So, right? So let's take that aspect now. And how did you transition from being a martial artist to a very interesting aspect of your life where you are working in the seedier parts of South America, working with the feds and the FBI? And how did you transition into that?